In preparing my remarks today, I thought I needed to see some more of Ted Cornell's artwork. I had seen his work often, for he had illustrated 7 books, and his work was shown widely in this area and around the state. Darrell suggested I visit Betty Cornell, Ted's wife. So I went to see Betty this morning. I went to their home, and it is a home that the Marquis built, and where Ted and Betty lived for over 40 years. Seeing more of Ted's artwork there was, of course, a pleasure, but meeting Betty Cornell was an added bonus. Ted not only had an artist's eye for landscape, cowboying, and wildlife, but he most assuredly had a fine eye for the ladies, because Betty Cornell is a beauty both inside and out. Betty obviously thought the same of Ted, because one of her first remarks to me as we were looking through his memorabilia and the photos was, "He was the best-looking man I have ever seen." Ted Cornell grew up on the Teepee Bottom Ranch, spent his youth as a cowboy and his adult life as a peace officer. His physical presence was often needed to keep the peace. Betty said he was 6'6" and 230 pounds when they were married. What struck me this morning in looking through their home and his paintings was this man who spent so much of his life around violence as a peace officer needed the gentle arts of song. He was an accomplished guitarist and singer. And the visual arts, he was a painter and illustrator, to take him away from the stress of his day-to-day job. Ted was also known for his storytelling and his wit. An example of his humor was, Betty says, that when he introduced his family of Betty and their 8 children, 4 from Betty's first marriage and 4 of their own, Ted would say, "If I had known she was so full of those little things, I would never married her." Betty often wondered how an old bachelor like Ted could have adjusted to married life. He was 36 when they married. She was 30 and had 4 small children. The answer is simple. Ted Cornell was a good man. Ted Cornell's art is that of the folk artist, for he was self-taught. His art was that of the storyteller, telling the stories that we all love of the life here in the Badlands and the ranching and cowboying of this part of the country. His art was wholesome, it was honest, and it was sincere. That is why we are here today to honor this good artist and this good man. And Betty Cornell, if you would come up, please.
I wish to thank the Board of Directors and the trustees of the North Dakota Cowboy Hall of Fame for this honor that they have bestowed on Ted. I have my girls here from Moral Sport. Ted was a great man, good husband, a great father, and great to his grandkids. And he was a great talker. Anybody that came, that's the thing I miss the most, I guess, when he passed away, is a lot of people stopped in. Since he died, they don't stop, you know. But Ted had a great sense of humor. He loved to visit, and he always had a joke to tell. And he just was a really good man. He loved the Badlands. He lived out here all his life. And he painted the Badlands, and he painted them really realistic, you know, like they really look. And we enjoyed our life together. And I just want to thank everybody for the great honor that they have bestowed on Ted here. You girls want to say anything? This is Carol Finneman. This is Linda Hott. This is Betty Lou. This is Joanne Joyce. And this is Bonnie Leach. these are my daughters. I have one more daughter, and my son, Gary Leppert, who was unable to come today. And, but their thoughts are with us as we accept this honor. So I wish to thank everybody. Thank you.